everybody, welcome to the channel for a new battle report. Like I said in the intro video, I'm using a treadmill in my office from time to time, so that's why you see me moving. I hope the noise of the treadmill should be fine, it shouldn't bother you too much, but if it's the case, let me know in commentary. But basically it allows me to move a bit more while I'm doing battle reports, so it allows me to combine the two activities in one, which is always nice, always what you're looking for. Anyway, let's move back to the battle report. So it's game number 2 from the tournament Duven show, continuing with my Wild Earth list against not Demon Legion but Legion of Sins. He was playing a list of Wrath. As you will see, it's a very fighty list. Let's move straight to the list basically. So you know already my list, and this was his list. So as you can see, it's a short list. He has 2 Scourge, 2 units of Myrmidons, 3 units of Brazen Beasts, and 2 Chaff. That's basically his list. So it's pure close combat, no magic, no range damage. So it goes straight into combat, and it's basically a list that does similar to what my list does, but more effectively. It's really a pure combat list. So it's going to be challenging. We are playing Capture the Flag on Dawn Assault, and below you have my spell selection. My opponent has no magic, like I said. So matchup analysis. It's a similar list to mine, so it's looking to have a lot of units and go in close combat, but it's stronger in close combat, especially the 2 Scourge are for me really hard to deal with. Even the Rock, I tested that in the past already. If you make the math of a Rock charging a Scourge, basically you do like 3-4 wounds, maybe 5, but it's still alive and then it kills you in return. So when the most powerful combat piece of my list cannot deal on the charge with a Scourge, you see that the matchup is going to be complicated, because that's my main tool against monsters, are the 2 strength 7 monster that I have, and neither my Giant nor my Rock can deal with the Scourge without huge risk. So yeah, it's not going to be easy at all to deal with these 2 Scourge. I have a couple of things going for me. First of all, we are playing Dawn Assault, meaning he cannot use the whole board. There is going to be a part of the map where I'm going to have more density than him. And the second point, which is also in combination with the deployment, is the footprint advantage. As you can see in his list, he has big units. He has 2 blocks of Myrmidon, which are like 5 wide. It's base of 25, so it's 125, quite big. Then he has 3 units of Brazen Beast. 4 models, it's again 200, 150. So combine all of that on the battle line, you will see it takes a lot of space. Where I don't have so much footprint, actually. I have a big Rock, okay. Then 3 Giant, which are only 50, and also my BSB. And the rest can move around. So basically, I have a footprint advantage, and I need to take advantage from these 2 parameters, the deployment and the footprint. I need to be patient. I'm going to be defensive in the first part of the game and then try to counter-attack. So I need to slow down his push, and something that I'm I think I say it a lot of time in my challenge already on my channel, is basically when you have somebody attacking you, you need to make sure there are some diversion. It's not a straight attack. It's far too easy when you see someone who is cornered from the deployment and just waiting for the opponent to crush him. Basically, it's very easy for the person who is attacking. You just have to move straight, engage combat, and you're going to win. Or you have a high chance of winning if you attack. So basically, you need to propose something on other part of the map to make sure that your opponent, the attacker, has choices to make. And as you know, in this game, it's often the case, the more choices you have to make, the more risk you have to make mistakes. And if your opponent makes mistakes, then you start to have opportunities to basically come from what is, in my case, a negative matchup to a matchup that you can potentially win. So we will see how I can do that. And the last point that I didn't mention is the amount of chaff. I'm going to put the Kineater on the board. So it's 2 Kineaters, it's then 2 units of Yetis that I can use, and the Trappers. So it's 5 chaff that I have on the board that I can use in this game, which are going to be a key advantage. I cannot use the Tribesmen as chaff because we're playing Capture the Flag, obviously. So let's move on to the deployment. So I won the roll for side. I gave my opponent basically the Impassable in the middle of the map, and I decided to go left flank here. So deployment wise, obviously he went for first turn. He plays that's going to be the General Scourge, and that's the other Scourge. Then he has the Hounds and Furies, so the chaff close to where he expected me to be. Then there is unit of Myrmidon, Brazen Beast, General, Myrmidon, Brazen Beast. So pretty easy. My deployment. So first of all, I had the consideration, capture the flag. Where are going to be my flags to avoid to be taken? So the zone of the map that for me was the safest was this left part of the map. So I place all 4 flags on the left part of the map. And then the second question is, how am I going to protect these flags? So I place 3 strong pieces, combat pieces, to defend those flags. So I have here a giant on the far left that's going to play with the left part of the board here to use the board edge. Then I have my BSB close by. That is also good counters to the Myrmidon. So I expected between the giant and the BSB, I have very good counters to the Myrmidon. Then I have the Rockwork that's going to be a key answers to the Scourge at some point. I need to find a good condition when to engage. Then I place here some chaff piece, the 2 Keen Eater also in the middle, trying to chaff at some point the Brazen Beast. Here I place a combo of giant. Basically the idea behind that is he cannot push really. If he push too hard and get double charged by giant, I mean I'm going to eat Brazen Beast or eat Myrmidon, so he cannot really take that charge, and he has no chaff in the middle of the map. So thinking, I'm trying here, basically the key idea here is delay. So delay here, counter attack or attack on the left, and then the right flank is also delay. So basically this unit, if he push 14 here, I have here a unit of Yeti that's trying to move around. He has no range damage, so he cannot panic me, and I'm going to move 14, try to move out of arc and just be annoying. And if you have some Yetis in the back or in your flank charging you with 8 attack strength 5, I mean that can be trouble even for Brazen Beast, so why not? So let's see how that goes. His turn 1, he push. Just it works. What I wanted to achieve work in the middle. So basically, he gave me only long charges. In the most likely event, I would only succeed with 1, and then I would be counter charged and killed. So that's well done. He covered his unit. As you can see here, decided to angle to cover here this part of the map for the charge of the giant, but then he wasn't able to cover a lot from the Yetis, so I'm going to be able to move out of arc. And then left flank, he pushes with Scourge. Had a very good idea to move his general, so the second Scourge, to the left part of the map, because like I said, I cannot really deal effectively with those Scourge. So the sooner they come close to my backline here, the better it is for him and the worse it is for me. And then he goes into position with his chaff piece. No magic, my turn 1. So I'm starting to try out to do what I told you. So trying to make diversion on the flanks. So I move the Yetis on the right out of arc, but still, as you can see, I could have been closer to him, but I don't want him to turn around, force me a mark check on the 7, me failing the mark check, and then him charging me. So I went into a position when if he wants to force a mark check, he has to turn around, move towards me, and if you can see, it's moving on the opposite part of the board where I have all my units. So actually it's fine. If he moves towards here, and I fail a check, I can still move towards the impassable or do something. And in the worst case, he could eat me, but then he's completely out of the game, he's not going to see the game again. So at least, even in the worst case, he would take some Yetis, but then it's 1 unit less that I have to take care about. And then left flank, I push with the giant out of arc of the Scourge. So really nice spot for me, only the dogs can charge me. Starting to be annoying on this left flank. And I place the trapper since they were trapped in the middle of the map. I just place them to trap the hill and create a first situation where he needs to charge me and do something active. And I stayed in the back with both General and BSB, keeping in mind what this chaff can do. I went into 18 with the giant to force a mark check on -1 on the chaff if he wants to activate. That's also a key part of the matchup, is my ability to force -1 check on some unit with the giant to basically slow down some of his unit. And the giant, they kept the duo together, but I moved slightly sideways to continue to zone. Mainly, my main purpose is to zone these 2 units. I don't care too much if this unit can move faster forward. They are further away from the rest of my battle line, but I need to make sure that these 2 giants are fighting those units here or slow down those units here that could push towards here, and I would be overwhelmed on the left corner. So that's it. In the magic phase, I only got to break the spirit on, I think, the general. I didn't want him to push 16 towards the left and then be in big trouble on the left flank. Let's move on. His turn 2, he charged with the Myrmidon onto my chaff, lost 3 Myrmidons, so really nice. He didn't march with the general, went slightly on the hill. He moved forward with this Scourge. and protected his Hellhound, so I cannot charge him with the giant. That's well done. Other than that, so I could charge here in the front, but yeah, not so sexy with the strength 5 giant. Here, like I said, he was able to push hard, and basically he made a counter charge. So I have 2 monsters that have middle long charges. Like I said, if I do only one, then he counter charge and kill me. Here he moved back to not allow me to move outside, so actually the purpose of the Yetis is achieved, meaning this unit is still out of the game and will take a lot of time to move back. So it's, like I said, I'm worth less point than him, so really happy about this trade-off. Magic phase, nothing, close combat, he killed the trappers and just turned around. He turned around in a way to cover this. He didn't want me to stick his Scourge, so I think that was well done. He turned around to avoid me charging here, to stick on the ground the Scourge, which could have been a possibility for me. Let's move on to my turn 2. So a couple of things to mention here. First of all, on the left, the giant passes the march check on 9 rollable and march towards the Furies, and here did a mistake. I'm able to get within 6 of the Furies, and remember that's the Cauldron giant, so he has a breast weapon strength 3. Okay, very interesting. I'm first of all in the back line, chaffing the dogs, and can use the breast weapon on the second chaff, so I could potentially neutralize 2 chaffs this turn, which is a key parameter in the matchup. Then I activate the Keen Eater to chaff in the middle. Again, it's more creating something. If he charges me, I could potentially counter charge or create something interesting. So we will see what he does, and if he doesn't charge it, I can chaff another unit next turn. So it's always the same. The problem with the Keen Eater, it's only March 12, meaning I cannot chaff that fast, so if I move back, I'm not going to chaff next turn. So I prefer to sacrifice some unit a bit too much, but still be in good zone and slow him down, basically, and also force march check and stuff. This Keen Eater is getting ready here, and here I found a position with 1 giant to minimize chaff the Myrmidon. Basically, the idea is if he chaffs me, it's in the front. I'm going to be only 2 model in base contact. I have a breast weapon, I should be fine. This unit cannot charge me because they go straight here, and we cannot both close the door, so it's not doable as a charge. And this unit doesn't see me, so I was feeling fine with the giant, and it's again slowing down the Myrmidon here is very important. Here I did what I wanted with the deity, so I moved towards the impassable, getting ready to move towards the left if I need to later on. And as you can see, this unit in the middle sees nothing, is really far away from the moment, nothing in the front. I move back with the strength 7 giant to support the left flank, and here again the keyword chaff watch. I watch that even if he survives to my burst weapon, passes the -1 march check, he cannot flee with 20, he cannot chaff the rock, making sure that this guy, if he pushes the left flank, I can charge him. If he charge onto this unit, I move out with the mage, is going to be challenged by a champion, I'm going to be steadfast 9 rollable, and then I can counter charge with the rock. So everything fine in control here on the left. In the magic phase, he got rid of my, he dispelled a swarm of insects. I got hereditary in the Keen Eater in the middle, just in case to be more annoying. And I got also break the spirit, I think on the Scourge here. That was it. And then shooting phase. Yeah, lucky me, I got the 17% chance of killing those Furies. So I rolled 5 wounds. He failed all 6 upward save and I killed the Furies. So really lucky for me. Again, it's a mistake that he did and he was punished for it. Let's move on to his turn 3. He elected not to charge with the Myrmidon, turn around, face me to make sure that if I charge, it's a maximized charge. So he has plenty of attack. He double charge with General and the Myrmidon into the Keen Eater. Okay, fine. Move sideways with the dogs. Move a bit forward with this guy here that was under Break the Spirit. And then he moved forward with both units of Brazen Beast. He could have potentially moved more, to be honest, because I have only like a giant seeing him. I think he was afraid for potential combo charge, but he could have potentially moved a bit more, I think, with the Brazen Beast here, to be honest. And those guys move towards the middle, but again, I think he could have pushed more, slightly more forward. He wanted to avoid my charge. So I think he was also afraid because the Brazen Beasts are not so strong when they are not charging, but he could have potentially taken the risk to move a bit forward and make sure that he gets a combo charge next round, because he's still in a position not perfect to counter charge this giant. In the magic phase, nothing, it's his turn, yeah. And then close combat, he got rid of my Keen Eater easily, and that was it. My turn 3. Okay, couple of things here. So I forgot to mention here, when he got rid of the Keen Eater, he elected to double overrun, which surprised me a bit, but he was afraid that I would continue to move back, and he still cannot engage, and chaff him again, and stuff like that. And basically, he was really willing to engage me, and it just realized that this coach might be really hard for me to manage. So let's just throw him forward like a wrecking ball, and then it's up to me to find a good solution. He make overrun like 8 and 5, I think, something like that. And then I need to figure out what was the best solution. I elected to charge with the rock into the scourge with an overrun onto the myrmidon if I go through, and then the flank with those guys. I made both, so both. This one was automatic and this one was like a 6 or 5, so an easy charge. In the flank, thinking I can get rid of a flag and then turn around, should be fine. The problem that I had, I couldn't put, because of the base of the rock, I couldn't put either the BSB or the giant into the myrmidon. So if I don't get through, then I'm alone. I think we will see the outcome and then think about what I could have done differently. I think they were the better solution that I could have chosen here. Left flank, I use my giant in front of his coach. Basically, he doesn't see all the units that are in combat here in the middle. He can charge me in the flank. I'm within range of BSB in general, and I'm going to be steadfast on the 9 rerollable. Totally fine. And then if he wants to charge here left, it's really far away, and then I have a giant looking here on the left, so if he moves just out and pushes forward, I can charge him with a giant and stick him with a giant strength 7. Why not? It's not the best, but it's the only thing that I have. And here, since he has no good counter charge, because I can chaff a Brazen Beast and the Brazen Beast, so both of them I can chaff them with 2 units, then I elected to charge with this guy. Those guys cannot charge me because they're in the front. So basically it's perfect, because the giant has a couple of stun to get rid of the myrmidon. I have a breast weapon, I have a stomp, impact hit, so I should be able to get rid of 15 myrmidon in 2 turns with all the tools that I have. And those guys just move the other side of the impassable in case I need to chaff or to charge those guys that would like to support here. So feeling fine, I turn around the BSB to provide a charge in this unit if they charge my Yetis. And that's it. In the magic phase, I got +1 strength on the rock. It is spell hereditary, and then close combat. It's really dicey. So let's talk about the right. I didn't do much. I think I killed only 3 myrmidon with the breast weapon, the impact, the stomp, and all my attack. So very, very disappointing. Very disappointing. I don't get the breast weapon back, which is bad. Then let's continue with this disappointment. The tribesman against the myrmidon. Again, I killed like 2, so yeah. Almost nothing, meaning he was still here. Luckily for me, he failed the reform check. And let's end up with the rock that was the lucky part on my hand. So that's the start of the impact hit. I think I made 2. Then the attack of the rock, I overperform, I make like 3. And then he had like 10 attack back, which is a bit less good than what I put here 11 attack. So a bit less good than that, but still he managed to do 5 wounds back, so I'm still alive on 1 wound. Then there is my hunter ready to attack. Like you see here, 30% chance of killing him. I don't kill him, so could have been better. I did only 1 wound, so he's still alive. Obviously, I solved this combat before the tribesman in case I could overrun. Left him on 1 wound. I have also 1 wound left, and he's stuck on the test on -2. So, mixed feeling here. On one side, I'm very lucky not to have died. That's the most important, I think, to mention. On the other hand, he was lucky to pass the test and not die also. So it was funny, but still I felt that I rolled very hot and he underperformed. So definitely luck was on my side here. And it's a key combat. I mean, if he kills me, you can see I'm in huge trouble here. He can charge the BSB, it's game. So for all those reasons, I think it's too much of a risk. And the correct charge would have been to charge the rock into the myrmidon, to charge the giant into his scourge to block him, and then like I did here, the guy in the flank, which allows me either I kill all the myrmidon, which is potentially doable between everything that I have, but if I don't kill all of them, I can pursue in the flank with the rock, and if I kill all of them, I just reform, and then next turn I try to go into the scourge, and in the meantime, I hope that my strength 7 giant will have done like 2-3 wounds on the scourge, and then I can kill him afterwards in a safer way. So I think here not the best choice. I was really lucky to escape it alive. He's turn 4. I charge onto my giant. He charged the dogs that into my tribesman that reformed, that didn't expect to be stuck in combat. So not perfect. He charged a chaff. Here we stuck in combat. Turn around those guys to charge here. in no magic phase close combat. He managed to do only 1 or 2 wounds to my giant. On average, I checked the stat, I didn't put them here, but he kills the giant like in 3 turns of combat. So I'm only, with this chaffing giant, I'm only buying myself time. But it's all what I need. Other close combat, he kills the Yetis, do 2 wounds to the King Eater that's stuck, and here this time, it's my time to roll really hot, even without the breast weapon. This time I roll a lot of wounds, he failed the check and lose more wounds, so he's still here but like with 4 guys. So I'm going to get this scoring unit here, which is very important. And here again, that's why I'm always saying on the channel, there is one reason why I don't take too many combat in tournaments. It's because when you go in combat, you never know what can happen. I mean, the odds are the odds, obviously, but it can always come out with something unexpected, and then the consequences can be really bad. And in this case, the unexpected was the dogs fluffing against my tribesmen, the tribesmen killing all the dogs, doing some result to the flank, and then it just lost a lot of Myrmidon due to combat res. So, okay, that was unexpected again. And then my Rock strike before the Scourge, and with 5 attack, battle focus, 4+, 3+, kills the Scourge. Whew, okay, that was hot. Let's move on. So that's my turn, let's see, that's my turn 4, yeah, exactly, indeed. I charge with Giant onto here, I charge with the 3 Rock into the Brazen Beast together with the BSB. Here we're still stuck in combat, and I bring the Yetis to chaff the Brazen Beast. So at this point of time in the game, total control. I'm going to win capture the flags. I'm going to get rid of this unit, this turn, which is 3 units. This guy should be still in combat with the Scourge, and I'm going away because now was the time to escape from my scoring unit, going away with the scoring unit to secure capture the flag. So feeling fine, winning on point. So as you can see, the momentum is quite crazy. If you look back at turn 2, I was like in a corner, very defensive position, and like 2 turns later, boom, got rid of 2/3 of his army, most likely at the end of the turn. So that's also the potential and the mobility of the list. In the magic phase, what did I do? Got hereditary on this King Eater because I realized if I stick him another turn, it's really nice because then I'm going to eat him the turn after. So that's going to be perfect. Then I got break the spirit on something, on a lucky roll, like 3 dice against 5, I think on those guys here, just to make sure that he's less likely to kill my Rock. And then close combat, yeah, kill those Myrmidons, kill the Brazen Beast, he didn't kill me back with a couple of attack on the General, kill the Succubi, and turn around, and here he failed to, with the 2 Brazen Beasts, he failed to kill the King Eater under hereditary. Thank you, Magic. So everything going really perfect for me. And we're still stuck on the left flank. As you can see, I only suffered 3 wounds, so I'm still in combat with him on his turn 5. He charges my chaff here. I turn around with the giants to charge here. I'm not sure it was the right decision since I have only 2 wounds left. It's maybe a bit too risky. Here we're still stuck in combat, so I'm ready to charge him. Here moving away with those guys, and only the strength 7 giant to, if needed, getting to engage the Scourge. It's perfect because my strength 5 giant does nothing to his Scourge, so each turn he has only 5 attacks, so it's like 5 attacks, boom, 2+, and then I have a regen, so it's not actually not that good. I has battle focus, but yeah, like I said, it's like 2-3 wounds on average. It takes time to kill a 7 wounds giant, so nice for me, and he's underperforming at the moment. Yeah, what happened in close combat? He got rid of the Yetis, I passed the panic check here, got rid of the King Eater, turn around, and do another 2 wounds to the giant, but I'm still here, maybe 1 wound left, I think, at the moment. My turn 6, my turn 5. I elected not to charge with the General because I have only 1 wound, and I don't want to risk it again on another combat, so I just move away, charge with the BSB, bring the strength 7 giant to kill him. Here I elected discharge, not sure it was the right idea, but I was in a mode like I want to risk, I want to try to engage, but I'm not sure it's the best decision. Like you can see, even if he frees himself, he could potentially be dangerous for the General. Not sure it was the best decision, but yeah, I was willing to try it. Here, like I said, on the left, 1 wound left, moving away with all of that. Magic phase, I got hereditary and break the spirit in the close combat for the BSB, so that's perfect. I think it was on the BSB and not on this one. And then close combat with the giant, I did 4 wounds, he did nothing to me back, lucky me. And he lost a couple of wounds more, I think, due to the combat result. Here we did pretty much nothing to each other, and he killed the giant. His turn 6, What he did is, I have no picture, he charged with the Scourge on those guys. They just fled over here, going to rally on 9 rollable, and they just failed charge, and that's it. And my 6, yeah, in the meantime I freed myself from those Brazen Beasts. I charge in the back, charge in the flank, going to eat those Brazen Beasts, rally those guys, and that's the end of the game. So what a game, what a game. Ended up being a 16 and +3 for capture the flag, which is 19-1. So who could have expected that after turn 2, myself included. So I wasn't sure I was going to find the right solution. I think, to sum it up, I didn't make the best solutions out of the problematic that were in the game, and I was helped by a bit of luck in my choices. The strategy overall in a macro level, I'm quite happy with it. The micromanagement wasn't perfect. I took sometimes not the optimal risk-reward choices. I think that's the best way to sum it up. To go more into detail, as expected, slow start, DL attacking, getting into first part of the plan, getting into good position in the flank, slowing down in the middle. Then his turn 3, I think that's a mistake on his part, overcommitted. Was it really needed to overrun with both units? I'm not sure. Could have potentially only overrun with the Myrmidon, or just reform, leave me with long charges, and then push the turn after. So I'm not sure. I think he went a bit too much in a rush to engage in close combat, which wasn't needed. Yeah, I used the chaff advantage to my advantage. I think also my opponent didn't use his chaff the best way. The fact that I was able to breast weapon on turn 2 is a huge issue. The fact that the dogs were blocked also was a problem. And then I was able to use the trappers. I used the 2 Kinitas and the 2 Yetis, all of them in chaff, which allows me basically to get the combat that I want in the way I want them, so 2 against 1, stuff like that, or flank charges, stuff like that, and make sure that I have combat that I can win. Not all the time, as you can see, some of the combat I took were a bit too risky, but overall the most combat I took were the correct decisions, and some of them were too risky. I think the key moment of the game is obviously the general against general combat. I think that's the key moment. Took too much of a risk. It was a gamble. It was a bit like a coin flip, went into my side and ended up in a big win. If he kills me, yeah, he can get into the BSB, stuff like that. I was in huge trouble. So I think not the correct decision. Like I said, I should have gone with the Rock against the Myrmidon, send the Giant into the Scourge, and take time to get in a better possible combat. I was a bit in a reaction to his aggression. Like I said at the beginning of the battle report, he forced me to take decision as well. He caused a problem with these 2 overruns that forced me to engage close combat. I couldn't delay it anymore. So I needed to engage, and I didn't make the best decision. And again, it's the same for him. I proposed some problematic at some point where he has to make decision, and he makes sometimes a bad decision, which cost him at the end. I think that was, well illustrated in this game, that we cause each other some problems, and sometimes when you have too many problems to solve, you make some mistakes or suboptimal decisions. And the Giant on the left, yeah, that was something, I think a card that I have up my sleeve the whole game long, is the Giant. Is stubborn against the Scourge that is flying, so if I can catch him on the ground with a low output model like a strength 5 Giant, it's perfect, because he could be stuck a long time. And that's something that I use to my advantage with a lucky outcome, because obviously I stick him from 1 more turn than what was expected from the stat. So he wasn't too lucky about his attack. But yeah, that was a tool that I had, and at the end it's him that decided to charge me. So that's how it ended up. Guys, thanks a lot for watching the battle report. I hope you liked it. I think it was a really interesting game, very tense. We didn't make everything right, me, my opponent. I think I took an advantage on the macro level with my decision, my game plan. And then in the micro management, I had a bit of luck at a moment where I didn't pick the best decision that I could have picked. And the rest was rather good choices. I think on the right flank and the middle was totally correct. It's more about the Rock against General that was leaving like a feeling of, okay, it's a huge moment. And like I said, the point of time that he has the 10 dice in his hand and tells me, yeah, it's like 2+2+. I mean, it's a bad time for me, 2+3+, but with battle focus to hit. I mean, I knew that if he kills me, it's more or less a game over for me. So it was a huge gamble. I think I didn't also take the best decision in Magic. Could have put, instead of the +1 to wound, so like +1 strength, maybe the -1 to wound or stuff like that to help me win on the combat result and not killing him outright. But the correct decision, like I said, would have been to send the giant. So yeah, plenty of things to say about this battle. It was an interesting one, and see you soon for the next battle report, which will be the last game of this tournament. So after game 2, I'm on 18 and 19, so I'm going to be on the table 1 for the final game against a colleague of the ETC Switzerland group, so it's going to be an interesting one. Bye bye, talk to you soon.